without exploiting individuals. Tell us more about what your project is in Nigeria about.
Our project in Nigeria is to come into Nigeria and create opportunities for the Nigerian up-and-coming talent. We know for sure of previous stats, and whether it's the Premier League or it's in Europe, that Nigerian players are really doing well at the moment. So we wanted to come here and see for ourselves and see what opportunities we can create for the Nigerian players.
Okay, interesting. And let me go to Danny now. Danny, you have the target of getting a certain number of players and see how you can actually link them up with club sites in UAE. Can I just ask, what is the how did you arrive at UAE and possibly not Europe?
Well, my journey took me to the UAE and to finish my coaching licenses, finish my badges off. So it was only meant to be a short-term stay for me, but the jobs that I was offered kept me there for the last 3 years.
Wow.
It's been a great journey along the way, working with a lot of different nationalities, cultures, and of course Nigerian players. Everyone knows that this country has a rich history of football talent, and we're here because of that reason. And we have the opportunity to give the opportunity to them players who have maybe missed out or have been overlooked. So for us, it's a great project, a heartwarming project, but ultimately in football, people are looking for good players.
Absolutely. Back to Tego. What's been the experience so far? You guys, when we were speaking before you came into the studio, you had been to Abuja already, and you've done a project there, and you're looking to start one tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
How's the experience been like?
The experience in Abuja was really good. Like I say, it was our first time in Nigeria, so it was a new project for us here. But the experience has been good with the players. There's been some high standard players here for sure, up and coming talent. So for us now, we're looking forward to coming into Lagos, and hopefully we can continue to look at the players. And I think there's double the players in it almost than what we see in Abuja. So we're really excited about up and coming days now.
Okay, Danny, it's going to be a tough one. You guys have 8 slots. How are you going to cope with the array and abundance of talent in Nigeria? You've done in Abuja already, so I'm guessing maybe you're going to split them into 4-4 or what? 4 for Abuja or 4 for Lagos. How are you going to go about it?
No, to be honest, we don't have a certain target we need to hit, or there's not a certain limit.
Okay.
We found a few interesting players in Abuja that we're going to reach out to and start the process of looking for trials or opportunities for them, not just in the UAE but all over the world. Listen, if we start this camp and we've got 3 days to work with the players, if there's 20 where we think they need the opportunity and they're of the level and standard, then 20 will go. There's no ceiling, there's no number that we can't go over. So we're hoping that there's that many, because we would love to give the opportunity to as many players as we can.
Okay, so tell us about the project. When is it starting? How long is it going to be for? And all this other stuff as well. Something that people outside, the kids, need to know, and how they can make their way to where the venue is.
The project in Lagos will start tomorrow. It'll be on for 3 days. We have some technical training on over the next day or so, and then we'll be going into games, which we believe, putting the games on, we'll be able to have a full look at the players, and each player will play over 90 minutes. So we're hoping during the games the players can express themselves and we'll be impressed, and we can provide the opportunity for these players, and that's what we're here for.
Okay, so generally, let's go talk about scouts and what's the job? How is the job of scouting? How challenging is it?
It's difficult at times, because you don't know what you don't know what you're going to see. You don't know the level. You don't know if there's going to be anyone of the standard that you're looking for. But I think the most important thing for us is identifying players on the pitch, but we also are taking a lot of statistics with us away from the pitch, including height, weight, running stats, sprinting over 10-20 metres.
Okay.
It's very important data these days, because football has become a real database game and a real physical game. So having that sort of information to give to a club, to give to an agent is invaluable for us. I think we will be trusted to say, oh, this player is a good player. We have connections and we have relationships with clubs all over the world that will trust what we say. but to back that up with sort of numbers and data and video evidence, that seals the deal.
Okay, I'm going to go to you, Conor. You're obviously being a co-founder of Vision Football Development Academy. What does it take to, if somebody wants to take up the role of scouts, scouting agents or anything? What does it entail? Because like Danny has exhibited, you can't play football forever. At the time, you might want to continue somehow, and it's not everybody that wants to be a coach. You could be an agent, you could be a scout or whatever it is in a football club. What does it entail?
I think being a scout entails detail. I feel like if you've got to be on the pitches to see it, you've got to watch games, you've got to, for sure, explore. You can't just, be short-minded, you've got to look at the long term in it. And I believe that it comes with experience as well. And for sure, scouting's are a game of opinions. But for me, you will learn off success when you've got success. And I feel that's where you found your path when you're scouting off the success you have.
Okay. And then, of course, let's talk about the disappointments sometimes. So both of you guys, you go get a player and the player shows a lot of promise. You do get situations where these players do not necessarily actualize those potentials you've seen in them.
Yeah.
How do you feel in situations like that?
I've actually seen it on the other side. So this is sort of my first opportunity to dip my toe into this side of the game. I've actually been a head coach where I've worked with scouts and agents who have really highly recommended players, and then they've come to my team, maybe train for a week, and I just don't see what they see, or it just doesn't fit. They don't fit the style or whatever it is. So I can imagine it's a very frustrating process, particularly identifying talent, because football, like Conor said, is a game of opinions. So what I think is good may not translate to someone else. So I'm hoping I don't have to do that too much, because we trust what we see. And I've seen. I'm about to see both sides, but I've seen the side where someone comes to me really believing in a player, and I just don't see that. So it's a game of opinions.
Wow. Okay, let's wrap this up and talk about some things like what are the age range you're looking for from the players you expect to see in the camp?
The age range we're looking for is between 16 to 19 years of age. And for sure, this is the age now where we feel for the players, especially to play in the UAE, you've got to be 18 to have a professionality, or 17, 18. So we're looking at getting the potential players of that age category to either go into the UAE or to go into Europe. But for us, for sure, that is the age range what we're looking for at the moment.
And I'm just going to stay with you on this one. How long has Talent Locker been on for, and how many other places have they been to, possibly in Africa or any other parts of the world?
So for football, this is the first place we've come to.
Really?
Nigeria, yeah.
Why Nigeria at first?
For me, personally, or for Talent as a
For Talent Locker, and then you personally as
For
well.
Talent Locker, I think it might be the same as me. Nigeria, as Danny says, it's got a big history of producing African players, and I feel like as a scout, for myself, even personally, I couldn't wait to get here and see the talent, because they produce and produce and produce year by year. So for sure, it's the stats of what Nigeria have been bringing through over the previous years of why we come here first.
Okay, I'm going to wrap things up with Danny. And Danny, I'm sure you can't get away from some Premier League questions. And so far, so good. Let's talk about Nigeria and Nigerian players. You played against quite a lot of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who amongst them do you think has, how would I put it now? Who would you describe as the best of all the players you played against from Nigeria?
Played against, off the top of my head, I can remember playing against John Obi Mikel.
Okay.
That was when he was at Chelsea. He was in a great team, and he was very difficult to play against for me, because physically he was so big, but also technically so.
So you're big as well.
No, we're talking big.
Okay.
And then obviously in that same era, I was playing with Obafemi Martins at Newcastle.
Wow,
so I've had great experience, and like Conor said, the national team at the minute is looking like it wants to do something. They've got some great players in the squad, and just to echo what you said, I guess we're here first because we've worked with Nigerian players back home in the UAE, and we've got a history of producing fantastic talent.
Okay, still staying with you. Premier League is really hotting up, but surprisingly Liverpool look like they're running away with it. Do you think they have enough in their tank to actually take it home?
I think so, because City have obviously dropped their level this year, and City have always been the team over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years to just get over the line ahead of Liverpool. Arsenal don't look as strong as last year, so I think it's there for Liverpool. I think if they have a good transfer window, I think they will go all the way, and I hope so, because obviously I'm a Liverpool fan as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big one. How did you cope when you were playing against Liverpool?
No, you do your job. I wanted to win every game I played against Liverpool, and you know, when you leave
you
a club,
wanted to make them pay, you guys.
exactly, you want to prove a point that you should still be there. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so if you were told to pick the top 4 finishers in the league for the Champions League, what teams would it be?
Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and City will get in the top 4.
Really? Even ahead of your former team?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to go with you as well. What would be your top 4 team to finish in the Premier League?
I'd go with Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City.
Oh, you're going with the same thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Okay, and then of course, let me wrap this up as well with Tego. Any plans to actually, kind of form a partnership with any of the academies here?
Yeah, for sure. Like it's our first time in Nigeria, so of course with success of coming here, we want to come here as much as we can, and to come here as much as we can, we're going to have partnerships. So for sure that's on the cards over the next week or so, to make sure, when we see the players also, we connect with the clubs as well, and we never forget where the players come from either. So it's when the players do go on and they do get clubs, we will always keep in contact with the clubs where they come from, to make sure it's a smooth operation and make sure they know the players are getting looked after.
Okay. I think that's about all we can take for now on this exclusive interview. It's been really very interesting, especially learning a lot more about scouting. Maybe I'll start considering getting my licenses as well as getting involved in that kind of stuff as well. But it's really been nice having you in our studio. Let's talk about Conor Tego, who is the co-founder of Vision Football Development Academy in the UK. And of course, a very popular face of the Premier League, talking about Danny Guthrie. Like I said, still remember what Newcastle did to Arsenal in some of those periods when you were there. And the first thing you reminded me was, remember the 4-4? And I'm like, yeah, check tilting.
Yeah, check tilting.
Very, very nice experience you guys gave us, and we're still getting to some of them. So I want to say a big thank you to you guys, Conor and Danny, for joining me in the studio on this exclusive interview. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.